Hello, welcome back to Tifosi Time. This is episode 114 of your favorite Serie A podcast. Guys, this is the Bye Bye Qatar episode. We barely knew you. And yes, we started. How did you tell? By the same intro I give every freaking week? Yes, we started. So this is Frank. I'm here with Chris, Dan, and the illustrious Pietro. As you can tell, is always paying attention. Say hello, people.
Hey.
Hi.
Well,
It's 8:59, by the way.
that's
Yeah.
right.
So you confused him. You started early.
We did. He's very much, he's a professional. He starts on cue, so we want to throw everybody off. But this is the World Cup final edition of Tifosi Time. So I think we should start with the obvious place of how Mbappe blew the game by only scoring 4 goals. Is that where you guys want to start?
Yeah, that's pretty much that sums up the game. He didn't do enough.
Yeah, so I'm not going to bother saying the score of the World Cup final because if you're watching our show, I'm assuming you watched and know the score of the game. So, for those of you that didn't, Canada beat the U.S. 7-3. Hey, if I can't make myself laugh, what the hell's the point? All right, fellas. Yeah, so let's kick it off. Messi got his World Cup. He got his trophy. It was actually I'm going to throw it to you guys by starting off with I think we all went into this game just not really giving a crap, like an ultimate neutral position, except for some of the shekels you guys had bet. But it ended up being a really entertaining game. By the end, I think we were both screaming like at the ref, like don't end the overtimes, let him keep playing, right? So for that, I was very happy for a game I went into not caring about at all. So let me kick it over to you guys. Who wants to add something more interesting than what I just said?
I mean, I guess like I didn't really, like you said, I don't really care who won. I did have money on France, and actually the whole time, even when France played terribly for the first 80 minutes, like not 80 minutes, 80 minutes about
Yeah,
because they scored the first goal. They played awful. It had no midfield, everything. Like it was just everything they did in the game was terrible. I still thought they were going to win. Like I never envisioned either Messi or Ronaldo winning a World Cup. Like it's just the way I saw it. Like both of them were going to be considered the best players, and they were never going to win the World Cup. So I figured France was going to win this one. You know, the whole time I thought.
I think that I don't like the jump, especially the first 7 minutes.
Well,
Argentina was having the midfield, right? France looked like they were all sleeping. So the first substitution he did, the G.O.A.T,
yeah,
which was wrong. To me, he shouldn't see that even Pablo midfield, he should have put another midfield. He take out Dembele. Dembele, this is championship.
Well, he did take him. He took him out, but he didn't put in the right pieces.
He count if you make a mistake on the first substitution.
Well, especially
because
that
you
early.
see, not that much Dembele or Giroud, right? But you should have put a midfielder to reinforce the midfield, right? Because Argentina had the Paulino, the hands.
I think the one issue is that you take out a forward, your striker, and you're down 2 goals. Like you need to score goals. In the end, it worked out because he puts Mbappe in the middle and he scores a hat trick. So, like, yeah, sure, whatever. But at the time, we were like, why are you taking out your striker when you need to score 2 goals?
I think all of us were like, yeah, why are you taking out Giroud in the 41st minute where clearly the midfield was getting overrun? And it was like, and I think he only did it to get Mbappe into the middle.
Yeah,
like, I guess he couldn't figure out how to get them to play together.
The mistake, what's his name? It's the Argentina did. The mistake was to take out the Maria and put a defender there.
No, but I understand that. Di Maria never has 90 minutes in his legs. Like 70 minutes is a lot for him.
Why? You think the Ballack would not play since the Maria plays?
No, I think he
has to play on Messi plays all the time.
No.
My takeaway from the game is like I said, the first 80 minutes sucked. But that game turned in, to me, I don't care about Messi's the best player ever of all time, that debate. This was the best game of all time to me. I said it yesterday.
Yeah, but did you read the goal Messi score was irregular.
Why? Because a couple players stepped on the
Yeah,
field. Who
they
gives a
say
shit?
if
Who gives
someone.
I don't care about that.
Oh, hey, but the law, the rule is that
So on
someone inside the
Messi's,
field before the
if you
before
guys
the
if you
ref
guys
call.
didn't see on Messi's second goal, it was some players on that were warming up jumped on the field before the play was over. So people were saying, "Oh, that's illegal. They can't have players all the way on the sideline
No,
at the
no,
50-yard
they
line."
come in inside the field.
Yeah, I don't give a shit. It had no impact on the play.
Yeah, but
Who
they didn't
cares?
interact with the
They
play.
had
Yeah, but
no
the
impact.
rules say if somebody.
This guy's a stickler for the rules.
Those are sore sports that are looking for any
I'm just saying,
excuse
if they
for-
would have called that goal back because of that,
Yeah.
I mean, that would
are
have been
you kidding me?
ridiculous.
Yeah.
That would have been, that would be something they do against Italy, right? So I kind of agree with Dan. Like in terms of like the most entertaining best final, I still have to lean towards the one where Italy won because the emotion of just having your team win, right? Like to me meant more. But just as a neutral,
You can't ask for a better
you
game.
can't ask for a better game. Like I was like screaming when both teams were scoring, and I was like,
I said to you, I was like, what if this was Italy? I would have had a heart attack.
oh my God,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like if it was your team, actually, actually the people that probably enjoyed the game the least was probably France and Argentina fans, right? Because
They compare this game to Italy Germany 4-3. People never remember that game.
no, I don't even remember.
I was too
that
young
one.
for that. I don't even.
You were not even born.
Yeah, like that's not
But
something.
that's what I'm saying. This was a really good game, and you know what? If your team was in it, you would have enjoyed it a lot less, right? Like
Oh,
Argentina
no.
giving up the lead and the
Italy
kick save at the end where France
Italy
could have won.
Germany 4-3 wasn't a penalty.
Yeah. No, but this like you're saying, Frank, I think if you're a fan of these teams, you're crying either way if you win that game or if you lose that game. Like it was just so much emotions. Like I was feeling it and I really didn't care about the game.
Exactly.
I was going for France because you bet that.
Yeah, I know it's whatever, but
but
still.
That's all we had at the beginning. We're like, oh, maybe you guys win some money, and then by the end, we were all like literally, I remember screaming like, add more extra time, like don't end it because it was like back and forth. It was just entertaining, right?
But any team could have scored.
Yeah, both almost scored right in the last like 2 minutes of extra time in the second overtime.
And France is gonna rue the game. That they had chances to win. They could have easily won. And if Argentina would have blew that a third time, like holy crap, that would have went down as the biggest collapse of all time. Like to lose, to be up 3 different times.
You see how you become a champion mondial, even if you don't play. Some people, Dybala addresses she scored on the penalty.
We were actually really happy.
12 minutes altogether.
But we were happy for Dybala because we were saying before he came in, we're like, it's gonna suck if your team when they were up 2-0, like, oh, I won the World Cup, but I like played 10 minutes total. At least he came in and scored a penalty at least he has something they can be like.
Exactly. So he was actually a participant of the World Cup and made a difference. If he didn't enter this game, he would have been like, cool, I got a medal and a trophy. Like I didn't do anything. But
in fact, we were a little worried because the typical like coach putting the guys in just for the penalty when they hadn't had 2 minutes to even kick the ball and warm up. We said, watch this, the ball's gonna come in and miss a penalty, right? Everyone's gonna blame him. But he put it in, he scored.
Well, usually as a history, all the people that come in with they miss.
Yeah, well, if you remember in the Euros in Italy, the 2 people that England put in like just before the penalties were the ones that missed it. That happens a lot.
And sticking with the penalties, first of all, Lloris was terrible on the penalties. Terrible. Dybala's penalty was awful.
Yeah,
there was. Should have been saved.
I think the first 3 that Argentina took, I think they were all
saved.
They
were all saved.
The one that missed the score, it wasn't
great.
Slow.
Yeah, they were slow. The first 3 were not right in the corner and kind of slow. Like another goalie would have saved 1 or 2 of those.
Yeah, that was the difference. The goalies for me, in the penalty shots. But shoot, I was going to make another point and I forgot what it was. But
but you see, as I say, if France would have Magnan, they would have won.
Yeah, if France would have had Magnan in the penalties, I think would have been a little bit different.
But going back before the penalties, literally, like France had a golden opportunity where the most beautiful kick save ever, where it's like, oh man, they got in the bag right there.
And that was like what? Like was that 2 minutes into the second overtime, like extra time? Was that like?
Yeah, that was very late in the game.
I think they added 3 minutes to the second overtime, and it was like almost time expired, and they had like.
And right before that, or after that, right before or after, Argentina had a crazy chance too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or maybe that's where they scored on the play or whatever. But I don't know.
No, they had a different one.
They had a different chance.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. Each team had crazy chances, even in the extra time, where it's like, oh, they're going to play for penalty shots. No, they weren't playing for penalty shots. They were
One thing it wasn't was a tactical masterclass or a defensive masterclass. That's for sure. Both teams were like, hey, let's.
You knew that going in. Both defenses were like.
Honestly, I didn't know because I thought like just the moment of the final would get them to play tighter.
France did let up a goal every game. They didn't have one shutout. Like their defense is not good.
But like even when the game, like even in extra time, right? Like they both played, and it was like, and even when Argentina was up, we kind of made the joke about Brazil, right? Like this is how Brazil almost got screwed by keeping to attack.
I noticed something. When the France came up, I saw in the Argentina play on the face, their face scared. Even the Messi. France you want to win.
France, the first 80 minutes played like that. They weren't running. They weren't doing shit.
Yeah, I remember looking at it 70 minutes in. We're like, what is this? Like France looks like they have no urgency whatsoever. And then they got that penalty. Well, I will say both penalties that.
Well, there were 3 penalties.
Yeah, the first 2 that each team.
So I was gonna go to that too. The Di Maria penalty to me wasn't a penalty, but there was the makeup call for the one where France.
I feel like they both could have been penalties, but like didn't need to be penalties.
Wouldn't have called
it was soft.
Yeah.
It was soft.
I mean, they each got one, so whatever.
I like the ref. He had the personality.
Yeah, the ref did a good job. If you really look back, he wasn't that involved. He let them play.
He was making good calls, man. He's carding people for diving and stuff.
Yeah. He did a good job.
No, the game was under control. It wasn't getting heated. In a game like that, like you expect it to get.
Well, I think a game like that, having that type of ref, might have allowed it to be as good a game as it was, right? Because you didn't have a ref calling foul every 2 seconds, breaking it up,
card happy,
like getting people nervous. Like he kept it like even and just let the people play. And it ended up being a good game, because sometimes the reps will break up the game and it ends up sucking.
Yeah, too many whistles, all that crap. No, he let there was times where players fell and they were expecting calls. He's like, nope, play on. But did
you notice what was missing from this game too? That I also think added to the passion. There was no VAR.
There was a little VAR. There was
but not that I remember.
Messi's second goal was VAR.
Yeah. But it was pretty obvious he was on sides right from the beginning, wasn't it? Like,
they had to check if the ball crossed and if there was offsides from the Tara.
My point was.
What do you think it was? Why the reason there wasn't a VAR?
I think it was a good ref game, but to begin with,
they decided like that.
But that's what I'm saying.
I think for the 72 penalty we're talking about, at least. A look, he should take a look.
That's what I'm saying. Like, that was where I was going with that. Like, VAR didn't have their moments where they came in and for 5 minutes looked at the play and was like, blah, blah, and
that says a lot
it all down.
About the 4th official. The VAR official was sure of
in the beginning, especially the first games, 20 minutes extra time, 17. What is 17?
Yeah.
I never saw such a thing.
No, there was like 14 minutes, one half in the game, right?
Yeah, but there could have been more extra time added to this one. I thought he was a little low on.
But maybe they did talk about the VAR because you know what? If that game would have been a VAR game where you had 4 minutes stop, or you didn't know if it was going to be a goal and you couldn't even celebrate because you had to like VAR check. Yeah. Like it would have taken the whole thing out of the game.
The one thing it didn't have was crazy controversy. He's pointing out this stupid little thing of people walking from the sideline on the field too early. Yeah. I couldn't care less about that. There was no real controversy in that game to me. So that's what I appreciate because you don't want people to think,
So you think they just got lucky, or like they managed to stay out of it?
No, I think it's luck. Like that shit.
Because I think back to some occasions of VAR in Serie A, right? like sometimes they jump in when there's no obvious thing to anyone, the ref or the people, and all of a sudden you get to be like, I think back to like the goal they took away because like there's plenty of examples, but the only one I'm thinking about right now is like a goal you meant to score and Vlahovic like made a foul like 40 yards upfield, and then all of a sudden VAR like comes in.
But
Like, where's VAR coming
that
from?
was missing some yellow card.
Good, yeah, but that's good.
That was good. That was his style of calling the game, though.
Wait, you think there should have been yellow cards and red cards?
Well,
at least Paredes is all red.
Yeah, Paredes had a bad tackle.
He had a bad tackle, but he got a yellow for that, didn't he?
No.
Yeah, he did.
I think he did on Rabiot, right?
You're talking about but he didn't have a yellow card.
He didn't? I thought he got
Speaking of the Italian league players, Giroud, I mean, barely played, so I can't really rate how he played. Theo Hernandez was terrible.
Yeah,
he was non-existent compared to how he normally plays. Rabiot had the head injury and didn't really make himself known.
Yeah.
Paredes came in, Dybala came in, Lautaro came in. Paredes actually had a really nice pass as soon as he came in.
He did. He actually had a nice vertical pass, 30, 40 yards.
But other than that,
sucks.
And Lautaro, I mean, how many chances? I tell you all the time, I don't trust him. He's not a forward.
Yeah, because that's right. Because he had that one where he took that extra touch, right? And then the French defender like slid across and blocked it, right?
It takes too much time.
Yeah.
It
was not overall. That's a good topic. We didn't plan on talking about this, right? But overall, in terms of the World Cup, it wasn't a very good showing for Serie A. Would you guys agree with that?
No, I think you had a couple people. You had Chesney, Amrabat, Siberia was okay. Other than that, from the Italian,
Chesney showed good. I agree with that. Amrabat played good.
I mean, Leao when he played.
Rabiot, who would you say, Chris?
Yeah, Rabiot was good.
Leao when he played.
Leao when he played, right? The coach didn't play him like an idiot.
Well, obviously, it's not like the Euros where most of the Italy.
If you think about they want to talk about. I mean, this Juventus player, right? Di Maria, right? I still think we made a mistake. Juventus made a mistake to let the ball go to create this guy.
Yeah, but he was the best player.
Di Maria, except the final, he didn't do nothing.
But he was good in the final.
Except to the final, he didn't do nothing.
But here's what I'll say though, and we'll go to that for a second. But like the teams, I'm thinking like us, right? Just because we're Serie A, like focused, we thought Serbia, Poland, these teams that had 10, 11 Serie A players, like they're gonna surprise, and they actually ended up playing like crap, really.
Yeah, it was disappointing compared to the Euros, like where you had people like Male who was like taking the tournament by storm, and like all the Italian players, obviously, like there was a better showing in the Euros from the Italian.
We have a two record to Juventus there. We have the most player that win the World Cup, 27.
Of all time?
Yeah, we're best bear.
That doesn't even seem like a lot, does it?
It doesn't at all.
What?
Oh, that won the World Cup, not played in the final.
They're also the team with the second most goals from players from their team. They have 7 goals. Yeah, because Di Maria added to 7, so they're the second most.
In a final? Goals in a final?
In the final, yeah. I forget who was in first. I think that 8 or 9.
Another thing, the FIFA.
Inter's in first.
The FIFA.
Oh, really?
The FIFA gives some money to the team that give a player, and Juventus has most money for everybody.
Oh, good. They could use it
this year. They need it.
4 million or something.
They'll use that. They're going to use that for Pogba's salary, $5 million.
They really gave him.
They gave him what? What happened? I don't know what you're talking about.
4 million, he didn't even play 1 minute.
He hasn't stepped on the field. They paid him $5 million already.
Yeah, but he was in the stands for the World Cup final.
He was dressed up in the stand instead of practicing more. But okay, you guys mentioned Di Maria, and I think I said this to you guys, right? Because we're all in agreement. It was a mistake. We didn't want him. All that stuff. They should have kept Dybala. Great. He didn't want to come. They had to beg him, right? Like he just wanted to play the World Cup. Now that he played in the World Cup and he won, I made the joke, and I was only half kidding. Like, could you not see him go, I'm kind of got like a pulled muscle. Like, I don't really want to play the rest of the season. Like, could you just see him jogging the rest of the year?
Besides that, Frank, I think physically he's in good term.
Well, that we know already.
He's in that
Frank. How many games do they have this season?
Well, we've played 15, so we have another
30.
21 games left.
21. I would say Di Maria plays in 11 games the rest of the season.
Yeah. Okay. So that's a good. So 21. I don't even think he plays in 11. I think he plays in 6.
He played 6 games, Frank.
He played in how many out
Oh,
of 15?
one game he scored a goal.
The first
all
game.
Yeah. Out of the 15, how many games did Di Maria play? 3?
No, he played more. Get out of here. 3.
More than that.
I don't really remember. Do you remember him doing? Okay, let me say. How many games did he put a positive impact in the game?
One.
2?
Well, 1. He scored 1 goal. The first game.
So fine. Maybe he plays as 10 out of the 21, but I don't think I could see him pushing to go to Argentina now.
Yeah, but there's still Europa League and Italian Cup games.
I'm saying he cares about it.
I don't think he cares about the Europa League.
I don't think he cares at all. That's the thing.
I don't know the guy. He might really want to play. I don't know.
I could see him coming. I could see him putting on 10 pounds in the next 2 weeks in pure pasta.
Like I will say, him and DePaul crying in the 80th minute because they think they're going to win, and then France scores 2 goals real quick, and then they get the lead again, and he's crying again at extra time. It's like Jesus Christ, this guy's going to die on the bench.
The Maria say he signed the Paul 1 year. He say he want to go to Argentina.
Yeah.
Paredes, the paper say for sure they're not going to renew.
Thank
You
God.
think
Good
they're
call.
going to kill them?
Yeah.
No,
exactly.
Yep.
So that's 2 guys, right? And then so you know, my thing is, and Rabiot, he's only got 6 months left. So he's gonna.
They say since we have the situation Pogba, we have to keep Rabiot. He told Juventus, I want to make money. See,
You're not going to see them selling.
Rabiot and Di Maria, whatever.
No, I give them away for. I give Di Maria away for free, just not to pay his salary for the second half. And Rabiot, you don't think they're gonna re-sign him, do you?
No, I think he's going for free.
Actually, I read
the
Juventus wants, if you want to stay with the less man.
Yeah, he wants 12 million. He wants more, and Juventus wants to keep for what, 3?
Yeah, pull a Quadrado.
Yeah. Hey, listen, if you want, okay, I agree. If he's willing to stay for 2.5 million, he can be part of the roster. Because I agree, he's fine for that. Yeah, if he wants to stay and tell his mom, sign up.
Yeah, but anyway, I mean, there hasn't been anything concrete on transfers really, other than Berezhinski going to Napoli from Samp. Really, that's been the talk. They need a backup right fullback.
And Amrabat's 100% leaving.
I don't think he's leaving right now. I don't think right now.
He said decide to go to Liverpool.
He 100% is.
So how much money is Liverpool?
Just get rid of everyone. Like, they need a team.
He's gone, Dan.
How much are they going to sell him for?
Yeah, a lot.
That's frustrating because
40 million?
I don't know
get that
number. It's going to be a lot. They're making money.
Yeah, there is 40 million.
I would love to see him.
He's not that old, right? 28?
No, he's not crazy. No, he's not even.
No. What do you think? Arab, what do you think? You're going to make 5-6 million in the. What do you think?
Because he's making nothing now.
Yeah, what's he making for Fiorentina? What's he making for
Amrabat's probably making $1 million, $1.5 million.
$2 million. That's what I'm saying. These guys that want 12, like Rabiot, are insane. So you're saying you're 6 times better than Amrabat?
No, but he's already getting 9, so it's not going to go down.
Yeah. And same thing goes for Pogba. Like, come on. Like, it's all about, like, what are you paying for versus what you're getting? Like, yeah, I don't know. I could see Di Maria showing up and not getting out of his Adidas sandals the rest of the season, like just having socks and sandals the entire thing.
I don't think it's gonna be that bad, but I tell you, if he pulls up lame, it's gonna be a month that he's out. You know,
Maria was to save himself before the World Cup.
That's what I mean.
Now the next 6 months, you save him for Rosario Central.
I'll tell you,
Rosario Central.
I don't know what that is, but I'm still laughing.
He's definitely not going to play back-to-back games. 100%.
Definitely not.
No, like the first week. Well, obviously, the first week is January 4th on a Wednesday.
He won't even be
then they play a game on Sunday. He's maybe playing 60 minutes total.
Well, first of all, he might ask for extra time because he played the most
That's
games,
true,
right?
too, yeah.
So he might not come back the first week and be like, and then, he's going to come back. He's going to hurt himself. He's going to get a pulled calf muscle in practice. Yeah, then he's going to have like 10 extra pounds from eating too much fettuccine on break and celebrating. And then he's going to go, well, it's kind of cold. Why don't we wait till spring? No,
it's a possibility. It's just, I think they're a little more professional than that. But
I don't know. He didn't want to come to Juventus to begin with. And Rabiot, we said the same
Daniel,
thing. Like,
Daniel,
could you see him being out a month?
Used to say yes, a 1-year contract.
Yeah, we were talking about that back then. Remember they wanted
Because
two, and he was like, I don't want to commit to
1 year, Juventus lost a lot of money. Because if you would have signed for 2 years, for the Italian law, they would have saved a lot of money on tax.
Yeah, but I don't want the guy for 2 years anyway, so I'm not really upset about that.
It'd be a bad deal.
The best thing they can do is shed all these high salaries, Rabiot, Di Maria. That's going to save like $20 million next year just by those two guys leaving.
They did re-sign, or they are re-signing Illing Jr. until 2025, and he's supposedly, healthy.
I thought 27.
25, 27, I don't know, but he's going to be a part of the first team like right away. Like as soon as he's back from the injury, and he should be playing. So it's a good step in the right direction.
Szczesny played a great World Cup, and his contract has how much time left?
Not a lot. I think he's
like a year, right?
Yeah. Yes, he look like his brother.
Who's his brother?
Whose brother?
He look like his brother, wasn't it him?
You're saying he was an imposter?
Well, listen. If I could, so let me ask you this question: if someone came and offered you, let's say, $15 million for Szczesny right now, do you take it if you're Juventus?
I think you get more than that. I think
you have to, right? You just played Perrine, right?
That is, yeah.
Like what the hell? You're struggling with money.
They need the man anyway.
Anyway, they said they wanted to put a cap of $5 million. No player makes more than $5 million. So
there is a 3 team that want to rivalries.
Yeah, great.
That could be we sell him too.
Awesome.
We didn't even touch on Messi, which is
let's touch on Messi a little bit. Yeah,
I mean the debate is he's the greatest player of all time. I can't say that because I haven't watched everyone of all time. I would say that he's the greatest player of my time. So there's that because I haven't watched. I didn't get to see Maradona all that much. I was super young, I didn't get to see Pele. So of my time, sure, he's the greatest.
I also think it's always stupid in any sport when they try to say the greatest ever. Like I know they do in every sport, Michael Jordan, Wayne Gretzky. Like people have different games, and usually you default to who wins the most stuff. So now that Messi has a World Cup and he has all those Champions Leagues and
he's won everything.
He's won everything.
Let's face it, Messi just in the finals did a great game.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't have a crazy. I mean, he scored a lot of goals.
But he did have a lot of goals.
Shots,
didn't he end up with 7 or something?
7 goals. Yeah. So good because
that's a lot for a World Cup. Typically, it's a winner that scores 6 or 7 the most.
7, 7's a good World Cup, but a lot of them were penalty shots.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think he did his most impact in the final, which I guess is what you want.
To me, but to me, he was never part of the debate because he never had the World Cup. Now he has it. Sure, have the debate. But for me, he's the best of my time.
I think you said it well, right? Like, is he the best of his generation? Probably. Yeah. I mean,
yes.
We always preferred him over Ronaldo, right? Even though Ronaldo was scoring more goals at times.
Maradona was better than him.
Maradona was different. Yeah, I mean.
Well, you got to see both of them, so you have a say, and you can say who was better, Maradona.
But then there's also the element. It depends on what you want to include.
Batistuta.
All this thing is relative. You never say in absolute this is what's the best.
Because here's the difference.
We had different time.
Yeah.
Different player.
Because think about the difference between Maradona and Messi, right? Just in terms of the sport. So when Maradona played, it was a little bit slower the game and more technique, right? Overall, there was people with more technique, but the defense. The defense, people could foul. Like it was harder defenders. It was a different time.
No, but Fred, we had
I mean, I don't know. Messi gets thrown around.
When I was young, there was I'm gonna play Puskas. He said he was one of the best. He said he was to touch the ball the 6th time up game.
Yeah,
6th time.
But that's fine. So I think you have to equate the different generations. The sports are different. They're better athletes now, right? It's faster. Than it was back in the 80s, 90s. Nutrition's better.
The rules are different.
Rules are different.
Bobby told Cruyff, Platini.
Yeah, the rules were different. You could pass it back to the goal and he could pick it up. I remember watching games in the 80s and 90s where any team was up 1-0. All it was a 50-yard pass to the goalie and he would pick it up and waste 2 minutes. Yeah. Right? Like those things all change.
We had the Rivera in the Juventus. Used to make his forward used to take score. with the pass.
Plus, let's not forget Maradona.
Oh, we had the Juventus, we had the Sivori. You don't even know Sivori.
No, I don't know.
He was a dribbling like Maradona, like a bit.
But Maradona too. When did his drug issues come? After he retired or while he was playing too?
It was. If you watch a documentary on HBO, it goes into.
I thought so. I didn't want to disparage a dead guy.
He got suspended. For
I didn't want to disparage a dead guy if I was wrong. But that's also counts, right? Like Messi stayed professional. He kept his nose clean, and Maradona,
he's way more professional.
You know what I mean? So that goes into it too. Yeah, Messi's great. I mean, there's no doubt about it, right? Like, listen, and here's the funny thing: their entire career was Messi versus Ronaldo, right? Messi's always been more technical, but look how their career technically could have both ended on the world stage.
Yeah,
Messi won, and Ronaldo basically got kicked off his team. Love.
But listen, but when you say who's better and who's not, Ronaldo scored so many goals. So you see the goal better. You see the net's better than him.
Well, he's a different player.
He's a better goal scorer.
Yeah, he's a better goal scorer.
Doesn't mean he's a better player.
So how do you say who's better?
That's what I'm saying. That's why I think saying absolute who's better is different. Like technically, Messi's always been better. Ronaldo's a better goal scorer. And athletically, Ronaldo was way better than
that's how I hate to tell you, Mbappe's better than both of them.
And Mbappe's maybe better than I don't know technically, but he's probably going to score just as many goals as Ronaldo. And physically,
a freak physically. I mean,
you know what disappointed? Neymar disappointed.
I never was that high on Neymar.
Yeah.
I was never that high.
Talk like it was
but I never thought he was that. I always thought he was overrated.
Neymar had a lot of potential to be the best, but he never got there because of his injuries and attitude.
And if you think about it, Brazilian-wise, there's a ton of players that do that. Even when they do well, Ronaldinho, they do well for a 4 to 6 years period. And then there's some injury or lack of athleticism or something where they fall off. And Neymar got hurt, and he was, but he was never in the class of those guys. But Ronaldo, it makes sense, right? Like as he lost his athleticism where he can't jump higher than everyone and run faster than everyone, now all of a sudden it's harder for him to dominate, right? Because the class isn't Messi. Messi always had like more technique,
Yeah.
So I mean, we weren't excited for the tournament. All in all, I think it was a good tournament. It had its fun parts, and it was the greatest game of all time. So
I was thinking Brazil would have won.
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't know how I feel about the tournament. Like I'll remember this final probably just for being entertaining.
You're not forgetting this final.
I don't know, because the thing is, I think what makes you remember sports, right? And this is across sports, is the emotional tie you have to the team and the game going on.
Well, Frank, like I watched that game with you. You were even getting emotional. You didn't even care. Like it was
right. In the moment, it was good, but I'm saying like 10, 15 years from now, am I going to remember that I was like rooting for the game? I don't know. I might just say, oh, it was a good game.
I think you will, because every 4 years they're going to show highlights of that game again.
Well, maybe.
Yeah, that was the fucking best game.
You're not going to forget that game, man. It was ridiculous.
It could be. But I mean, compared to like if we were Argentina or France, then it would be etched in your head forever.
Well, listen, if you're Argentinian right now, if they don't win another time in your lifetime, you're okay with it. Because that was honestly the greatest win of all time.
It was good.
So you can't even complain if they never even make it to a final again. Like, that was amazing.
Do you guys remember 2006, right? You guys weren't too young for that.
Yeah, no, I remember that.
Yeah. I mean, and you remember those, even the game, I still remember the semifinal versus Germany with Cannavaro, right?
I watch the highlights of those games all the time.
Me too. That's what I mean. So that when you compare your team having those runs and that thing to like a game that was like, wow, that was a super great game. It was really entertaining. Like, it's never going to mean the same. Like, I'm never going to remember it the same way.
No,
you know what I mean? Like, you might ask me, oh, yeah, it was a great game. It was 3-3, and they won it. I might not be able to describe the goals to you in 4 years.
You're not going to be able to say Mbappe had 3 goals and a goal and a penalty shot. I think you'll remember that he had 3.
Maybe. I might only remember the second goal. I might forget the first.
I remember how I became Juventus. I was about 7 or 8. That was Atalanta Juventus. Juventus beat them 6-2, I think. 6-2. It was a good game.
You see, you remember the important things.
That's what I mean. I guess from an importance level, it didn't hit me like, wow, it's Messi's last World Cup game. I was just watching it for fun.
to your point, I can't remember anything about the 4-2 Croatia.
That's what I'm saying.
Years ago, but it wasn't as good as a game, though.
Right, but like that was only 4 years ago. If someone asked you 25 years from now, tell me about the France.
You would remember.
Argentina, you think? I hope.
Because there's key people in it. There's
Messi
that's
true.
It right
that's
there.
True.
There's Mbappe. Like it's not like it's just a random two teams.
That will help too, right? Messi versus like Modric or whatever. Yeah, maybe.
So, no.
Either way, it didn't disappoint. We got to say it. And I remember talking to you guys, going, "Hey, where are we going to watch it? We're watching all together," and we were all like, "Oh, yeah," and like, good thing we did.
I was ready not even to just have it on the side while I did other things, you know.
Yeah.
But I'm glad I did take the 2 hours and sat and watched it, even though I was pissed for the first 80 minutes. I was like, "This sucks. This is so boring."
Yeah.
You know?
It was good. You know, it doesn't make up for the fact that Italy didn't make it. I still say, and I said to you, and you know, I really, really meant it watching that tournament. I think if Italy was in it, anything could happen. You need luck. But I think if Italy was in it and it all played up to their potential, I think they would have found themselves in the final or the semifinal with the other teams in the tournament.
Not always the best team wins the tournament.
This is true, but
you know,
this is true. And that's why I say you need some luck, right? You can lose on penalty shots, whatever.
It's a surprise.
There was Morocco, yeah.
Morocco was a surprise of the tournament.
But they were the typical like too long shot of a surprise because they got to the semifinal and it was like they had reached more than they could ever think. And by the time they showed up to the semifinal, like they didn't put up a good fight. It didn't really seem like it. I didn't get to see the game.
It was their worst game.
Yeah. So it was kind of like they didn't. It wasn't like they didn't have another one in them. You know what I mean?
But even still, 4th place for them. Like no one put money on that. So.
And it's good because I think when they were in the semifinal, we were all like, "Oh, we hope Morocco goes to the final and wins it."
The participation of the team.
Well, actually,
they shouldn't be there all the time.
Should we bring up the fact that I read an article? I don't know how true it is, but they were rethinking because originally what they said for the next World Cup, there's more teams in it. There's 48 teams, right? So they were is it 48? They were thinking 16 groups of 3. What was it?
I think it's 16 to 3.
16 groups of 3, but now they were saying they're gonna, if they do that, they have the potential the third game, you know, that they meet up, like where teams that they can just tie and both go. They don't want to have a bunch of games where it's all dead games where, you know, they don't get to.
I already think there's too many crappy teams in the tournament. I don't want them to see them.
Well, that's already decided though, right? It's already expanded.
I know. I hate this. I don't like this.
I kind of agree though. I don't want 3 groups of 3 with a top 2 go because I think that kills the whole group stage. Like,
plus, these people play too many games already. Like, it's just it's too much.
Top 2 or just top 1?
No, I think
teams make it.
Oh, is it the top 1? No, because they were saying that the teams could.
It's probably like, ones and wild cards and stuff. Like,
that's
probably stuff like that. I don't know. I
don't know, but Chris is right. Wouldn't it just be the top 1 from the 6?
No,
you know what they were saying? They were saying that they would go from 48 to 32 in the second round.
Yeah.
So the first round would really mean nothing. Yeah. Would mean nothing. It's like you could just tie that second game. Or whatever.
First round is basically the qualifiers for the real tournament. You know?
Do it groups of 4. Do like the top, the 2 best third place teams, whatever you got to do. But like, don't do it where it's 3 teams and 2 from each go, and it's like you're gonna kill the whole first round.
Yeah, I don't like it.
Yeah.
But
it's all for money, right? 48 teams, all those extra games.
Yeah. Everything is done.
Is it going to be longer instead of 4 weeks? Will it be like 5 or 6 weeks?
No,
I would assume it has
to be. It has to be, right? We're going to have 6 games at one time.
Oh, yeah, that's true. It might be a little longer.
I don't know. We'll see in 4 years.
But it's weird how it's already planned, but now they're thinking about maybe we don't know how to set it up. Isn't that a bit weird?
Are you surprised? FIFA's a bunch of idiots.
FIFA sucks.
That's crazy.
I read that the national team, they're going to play less game now.
What do you mean, friendlies?
They cut the game.
Good, they should. It's way too much.
Like all the friendly game.
Nations League, all this shit. Good. Get rid of it.
But does that mean the national teams are going to be worse because they play even less together?
Who cares?
Yeah,
who cares?
How many times, you see, the World Cup, it's not like this year they did in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
Like if they stop the championship, let's say in April, and they have 2 months to practice.
Well, usually they used to stop it at the beginning of June or the end of May, right? And they used to have like 3-4 weeks before the World Cup.
No, they had like a month or 2 months to practice.
There's nothing worse than a soccer friendly. I fucking hate it. It's awful. So I do
I
not
don't
want.
Well, see, now you're just spoiled because you
No,
get to see real
yeah,
games.
you
When we
can
were
put
younger,
the
like
game
an
too,
Italy
no?
friendly was like a rare time to see them. I didn't care. I was like,
And
yes.
it was boring every time. It sucked. It means nothing. So
Well, I enjoyed it more as a kid. It's true. I was like just watching the players I couldn't see all the time. Yeah. So all in all, fellas, the 2022 World Cup is in the books. Argentina's got their 3rd championship.
Producer Don, by the way, predicted Argentina over France in the final. So
Yeah, in that bracket we did. He did.
Even though he ditched us months ago, he will still give him kudos, and he picked the correct winners and finalists.
You say that
that's pretty hard to do, actually.
Yeah, I mean he went with chalk though. Like he went with favorites. It's not like you picked anything crazy. Yeah. But next week we're going to take a week off because there is no World Cup and there's still a break in the league. So our next episode is going to be January 2nd, and then we'll talk about the games that are going to be on January 4th, which is a Wednesday. We'll talk about the Wednesday and the weekend games because, of course, they're cramming in more games for people, for teams. So
they have to.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. They come back on a Wednesday. I was like, that to me is crazy. I'm a little bit just being spoiled because it's going to be a crazy week back to work for most people. And it's like, hey, let's have midday games.
It's going to be hard to catch them.
Yeah.
So, but no show next week. We'll be back on the 2nd. Right?
Yeah. So happy holidays to everyone. Have a tremendous New Year, I guess.
Yeah.
We'll see them after the New Year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Allegri out.
Allegri out.
Bye.
Tell your friends.
Bye.
All right. Good night.